Alright guys, welcome to another video. And in the last video, just before the exercise, we were able to load data into our database. So since we have now loaded the data, we have more data to work with. We can then proceed to look at the full CRUD operation, the select, the insert. We've done the insert, the select, and then the filter part, and much more that we can do with SQL. Okay, one thing I'm trying to do is to extract the alter part from the last video so that it can be isolated, and eventually when that's done, it will be pinned to this particular video. You can check the description below for the link to that particular video, or it should be at the top left or right of this particular video right now. Okay, so do want to check it out. So let's again go back to the particular data or the database we used. And if you remember, our database was, okay, let's connect this quickly, was this, right? Superstore for YT. Okay, so open a new query to just to have this. And how do we check? Let's check what we have in the database first quickly. So go to the particular database we want to work with, go all the way to schemas, scroll all the way down to tables, and now you can see we have 3 tables in there: customer, product, and sales. So we'll be writing the select query for all of them. So select all from customer, select all from products, and select all from sales. All right, so whatever I want to write, any new query will be at the top. Why? Because once we start writing, instead of going back up, we can just run the query down here at the bottom. Okay, so let's jump into it. And what do I want to cover today? So I'll just briefly draft something for today. And of course, the basic thing we'll be looking at is, first of all, the basic CRUD operations. So we can say, all right, so this is a comment, a multi-line comment. So anything I write between here will be a comment. Okay, and if I can make this a comment as well, so now this code cannot run. Let me show you what I mean. I highlight it, I run it, it will run, but not as a code. It will execute, but not as a code. Okay, this is expanded, restore. You can see it only says query returned successfully because it's not an actual query, it's just a comment. Okay, it is just a comment. So if I uncomment it and I run it again, now I'm getting a result. Okay, so keep that in mind. However, I can decide to put a comment in front. And how do I do that? I just use the double hyphen and then I type whatever it is. So I can say retrieves all records from the customer table, right? So something like that, just to note that this is a comment. This is what this particular query does. It can be at the top as well. It just depends on where I want it to be. So I can put it at the top, scroll the way. Okay, so it can be at the top just like that. Then I have another one for this, just a refresher on comment. So for today, what I will cover: basic CRUD operation, create, which we have done, reading, so reading data from our database, which is the select. We have seen the selector, we have seen the select view, right? Reading data. So select all, select columns. That's for reading data. Now we can look at basic things such as before the updates. We covered updates already anyway. If you miss out on the part where we cover the update, I'll pin the video at the top left of this particular one, or you can check the description below to see that. Okay, just a few minutes. I'll type everything out and then continue. Okay, so here's what we have. The select, this is all and specific columns. Then we'll look at sorting data. We'll look at filtering. Filtering with how we remove duplicates. The keyword where we check some logical conditions, logical operators we can add. And then we'll see some optimization. Let me use the word, some better version or smarter version of those two logical operators. Then we'll look at the wildcard like. Then we'll look at another part of the filter. So we'll just go through it one after the other, and it will be in form of questions. Okay, so if it will be in form of question, it is important to have an idea of what is in our database. So let's go back to see what we have in our database. So we have a customer table. We'll execute that. Close this, bring this up. So we have customer ID, customer name, segment, age, country, city, state, postcard, region. Okay, so typically we have information, basic customers information on the customer table. Let's check product. Okay, the product ID, category, subcategory, and the product name. Also basic information, right? Just 4 columns. Basic information about the product. So let's see the sales. All right, so for the sales we have, I can just expand this for now. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so we have the order line, order ID, order dates, basically about the each orders, the ship dates, the ship mode. We have customer ID as well. We have product ID, we have sales, we have quantity, we have discount, we have profit. Okay, right, so this is what we have for the customer, for the sales data, or for the sales table. So let's start with basic things, so as selecting few columns. So for example, what if I say, if the question says the management or whoever it is, the marketing manager wants to see the customers from the South region. So I want to see the customers from the South region, and of course in this case we just want to see their names and their region. We don't want too much noise, right? We don't want too much noise in this case. So how do we do that? Our select, instead of all from customer, what does all return? Do not forget, asterisk means all. It's the same as saying all, and this means we're returning all the columns. It has to do with the columns. So if I run this now, let's execute this, alternate F5, we bring this up, you can see it returned all the columns. But in this case, the customer, the marketing manager wants to just see the customers from the South region. So we just want to see the names and the regions of our customers. So instead of this, right, we do select customer name. It has to be exactly how I typed it. Customer underscore name, and we have the region. Okay, then we execute this. Okay, yeah, I omitted the from. So where am I selecting from? From the customer table. Okay, so this is what we have. We have the customer name and we have the regions. We have South, we have West. Of course, we still have other regions. So in this case, what can we do? What can we do? The first thing we can do is either sort them such that it shows a particular region, but since we cannot sort except with filter, right? We cannot sort by South on its own. For example, we can say South should start our sorting option, right? So what do? We filter instead. So since the marketing manager wants to see the customers from the south region, you can come here, basic. I'll take this up instead and put it here. Okay, now remove it from this place. All right. So we will do what? Copy this. So one of filter now, and the clause for filtering is the where clause. So I can break this down then. So I'm selecting from customer, and then I say where region is equal to south. Okay, that will be in a single quotes, south. If we execute this, now you can see that I'm only seeing customers from the south. And of course, if you've been paying attention to details, you'll notice that the number we have here changed from 793 to 134. Let's check that again. If we execute the one here, let's leave a space, execute the one right here. So execute this, you see 793. But when we execute the one with the filter, we're saying only shows the south region customers. You can see we now have 193 customers from the south region. Okay, now what if the question says we want to be able to sort them, the names alphabetically? Considering this result, you will see that the names are not sorted alphabetically. They're probably sorted based on the time they registered with us, or based on the time they joined us, or the time the since it's the customer details, right? So it is put in that order, not alphabetical order. So what do? We can sort by the customer names. And how do we do that? Very easy. And you can see how we build on existing queries. Because if the question is definitely will be the question definitely will be probably a long one, and it can come as, okay, we want to see the customers from the south region with their names sorted alphabetically, just like that. So you should learn to break question down into chunks, right? Break them down into step, and then you answer them. Of course, after learning the basics, we'll be having some specific, we'll be having question like, even though the learning phase of it as well, even the basics will still be question based, because that's how you talk to data. You have a question in mind, or you have something you want to know, then you ask from the data, because the data has the answer for you. So however, we'll be having dedicated videos for question based or business problem based exercises that we'll walk through. So for now, we'll learn everything in isolation, in units, then we'll put them together to answer specific business questions. Okay, so far this result does not sort. What is the keyword to sort? The keyword to sort is what? Order by. So just add that there. Order by. The keyword to filter majorly is where. If it's an ungrouped data, if it is a group data, we'll see that when we do grouping. So this result so far is not sorted alphabetically. We want to sort the customer names alphabetically. So what do? We do not end our query. So don't make the mistake of putting a semicolon here and expecting this to run on its own. Your semicolon goes at the end of your query, because the semicolon tells you that this is where this query ends, and you cannot write this alone and expect it to run. Okay, so let's go back, take out the space, take out this, and take out the semicolon. Then you go to the next line and say order by. So that's how we sort. Order by which column? By the customer name. Then we'll do it this way. Now that we ordered by the customer name, you can now see Aaron first, Adam, Alan, Andrew, Andy, all the way down to the last person, Y, right? So you can see that the keyword to sort our data is what? The order by. Now, what if we want to sort the other way? Obviously, this sorted from A to Z, right? It's sorted from A to Z. What if we want to sort the opposite direction? When sorting, we have two ways of sorting. We have the ascending order and the descending order. For alphabets, it will be A to Z. Ascending order will be A to Z. Descending order will be Z to A. Okay. For numbers, ascending order will be minimum to maximum, or smallest to largest, while descending order will be from largest to smallest. Okay. So currently, we did not define the sorting order, but just like an Excel argument, optional arguments that we don't pass always have a default value. So even if we did not specify the sorting order, SQL has a default that it uses, and obviously from what we can tell, it is ascending. And how do you specify it yourself? All I have to do is, before my semicolon, add a space and type ASC, ascending. So if I run this, pay attention, I can tell you that there will be no difference, literally no difference from what we have before. So let's run it. You can see nothing changed. The last person will still be Yana. Okay. So nothing changes because the default sorting order is what? Ascending, ASC. So if we do not put this explicitly, that is what is still doing behind the scene. So what if we want it the other way? That will be DESC. That's descending order. Let's run it. And now you can see this person is now the first. And if we go all the way down, Aaron is now the last. So we can sort in ascending order or in descending order. So let's simplify it. You know, we have a lot going on here. Let's simplify it. Let's pick our guy again. This guy. Still on sorting. All right. So I think this video will just be based on sorting and filtering only. Okay, not all the filters as well, or the filters will also be broken into chunks so that they're not too long. Depends on the length of the exercise. So if it's getting too long, it might be broken into chunks so that you're not overwhelmed. Okay, so we have select all. We just executed this right now. So I'll leave a line again. So between this query and this query, there's an empty line. Do not leave line inside a query. Yeah, that's the word. For example, this will not run. This will throw an error. As much as this is a semicolon that is telling that this is the end of this, this line is also acting consequentially and unintentionally as such. So it's not good to have this right here. Okay. However, all of this can be on a straight line. Okay. So between your queries, this is the end of a query. Have a line. Okay. Have a line. Then this is another query. So when we executed this, this is what we got. Customer ID, customer name, segment, age, country, city, state, and postal code. And currently, of course, the customer names are not sorted in a particular order, probably just the order of registration, how they joined us. So let's say we want to sort the customer names in ascending order. So let's do that. So all we do is, after the from, we had order by customer name. Okay. And if we execute that, since by default it sorts in ascending order, and let's check. Now you can see it has been sorted in ascending order. So the first person here is Aaron. Okay. What about we sort it in descending order? Let's go. Copy this again. And we say DESC, descending order. If we run it, it's executed. Let's expand this. You can see this is now the first customer on the list. However, do not fear, our order, the way it is in the database is not altered. It's just the result we're getting. Okay, it's more of a presentation thing. The way it is saved in your database is still intact. Okay, the way you saved it in your database is still intact. So we sorted it in descending order. All right, quickly you can sort by city or by state. So let's sort by city. We'll sort by city in ascending order, then we'll sort by state in descending order. Then we'll look at number sorting. You can see I'm just copying and pasting again. However, you can type everything again. By state in ascending order, so I can decide not to put anything at all or to put ASC. Okay, but we know that by default that's what it does, so we will not put it. Ascending order. Of course, now these names are not sorted. So if we go, you can see that the state is now sorted in ascending order. Alabama first, then Arizona, all the way down like that. All right. And let's bring it up. So let's sort by city in descending order. Sort by city. Okay, we want it in descending order. So do a descending order. Execute that again. Let's pull this up. Of course, you can see that the names keep changing because of it's sorted by another column. So you can see the first city descending order now. That's from the bottom. Okay, you can see from the bottom. North Carolina, North Carolina. We have this, we have this, we have this again, this again, this again. Right? We have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. Right? It's sorted this. It's sorted using the city. Now, what you're probably thinking, can we do a multi-column sort? Yes, we can do a multi-level sort. You can say sort by the region first, then sort by the name, sort by the state, then by the city, right? And sorting can work for a few columns as well. So we can say we want to sort using few columns. Before we check that, let's say we want to sort using few columns. So say sort, select just a few columns. We say the region first, the region, the state, the city, and the customer name. And the customer name. Alright. So it doesn't have to be with the all. We don't have to sort with by selecting all columns. We can sort by selecting certain columns. So I'll break this instead. Okay, so we're saying select region, state, city, customer name only. And of course, the order in which I typed these columns out is the order in which it will appear. Even though region is the last one, region will be the first column in our query result, followed by state, followed by city, then the customer name. Again, it does not alter the way it is in the original database. So let's run this. You can see now we're having region only, state, city, and customer name. And you can see, let's expand that. So you can see we have South region, North Carolina, we have East, we have South, East again, and all the way like that. Okay, you can see the names of the customer. Do not forget, we are still sorting by this column. So quickly, just to confirm that everything is still the way it is in the original database, if we go back to this query and we execute it, by selecting all, you can see everything is still the way it is. All right. Now, let's do a multi-level sort. Let's rerun this. Currently, we sorted by region, state, city, customer name. What if we want to sort by region first, then followed by the state, then followed by the city, right? So that we see all the first, that should be central region first, then all the states in central region, then all the cities in central region, then all the customers in central region. Would be nice, right? So let's get into it. We'll copy this, paste again as usual. Let's take this back, and then we sort. So what do we have to do? We only have to take out the city since we don't want city alone. So we can just copy this, Control C, then paste right here, Control V. So what? I'll take this out. We don't want to sort in descending order, so take this out completely. So we're saying sort by region first, then by state, then by city. So if we run that, all right, so we can see we have the central, we have the state, and we have the city. So it's sorted by all the central region. First of all, central region. You can see we have this first, then this, then this, then this. So it's sorted based on the region first. Then still alphabetically, it started sorting the state. Then alphabetically it sorted the city. Of course, we did not sort the name. If we sort the name, we can now see the A names first and the other name. So let's include the customer name to our sorting level. So let's include the customer name. Just add a comma and Control V. Let's run that, execute that. Now you can see, hold on. Yeah, yes, that's correct. So now you can see, because this is the only one we have. So for this, we have this guy first, this guy first, this guy first, this guy first. So if I remove it, let's see if we'll be able to tell the difference. Do not forget those that we have here. We have song, we have author. Okay, right here. Execute again. So you can see that it's different, right? Hope you can tell the difference. Run it for yourself and see the difference. It's right there. Okay, now we have learned sorting in different ways. We can sort in descending order and add this to descending order as well. Then we have the last region first. Hold on. So let me run this again. Sort by descending order. Let's run, select all from customer. All right. And let's go back, order by customer. Okay, so we can see it's picking this first, then this, but the cities have changed. So the cities have changed. And of course, the names also changed. All right. Now to numbers. Let's see how we can sort using numbers. What do we mean by sorting using numbers? We have a numeric column in this case, in this table, and that is the age. Right, so what if we want to sort from youngest to oldest? How do we do that? From youngest to oldest. So let's write a select all. Select all from customers. Then order by age. So if we run that, our guy Claire will not be the first person anymore. You can see, so this is the youngest customer we have, and you can see his age. Then if we keep going, 19, 20, all the way down. Of course, you know how to do it in reverse. Just add space, then DESC, then you execute it. So yes, this is how we can sort using how we can sort in SQL. We've seen how to sort using different columns. We've explored a few options. Okay, you're thinking of something in your mind or in your head. Okay, can we sort this way? Can we sort this way? And I didn't cover it. Do want to leave a comment in the comment section below. Just give your scenario that what if we want to sort like this? How do we do it? How do we do it? I'll definitely respond to that. If there's nothing else, I think I'll cut this short. That doesn't get too long. You can take it in chunks, right? And you can know that there's a video dedicated to something a particular concept only. So we've seen the concept of sorting. Of course, we can now include it in the future ones. So as we filter, we can now sort. As we move, we keep going and keep going and keep going like that. So yes, I'll see you in the next video. Some exercise for you. Of course, you should not just go like that. Okay, so at the bottom, let's go to products. So I want you to sort the products table by the category first, then the subcategory, then the product's name. That's the first thing. And also you go to the sales table and sort by the profit. Sort by the profit. So just give it a shot, and of course you can do much more with that. Okay, see you in the next one.